All right. Good evening, guys. Thank you for hopping on and watching the recording. I know time is hard for everybody. I've got Jim's gone, so I've got like my kids. They're finishing dinner, and I was like, "Give mommy 30 minutes." So yeah, I know it's hard with different time zones and everything. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate you, Allison, because I know you have to work in the morning. I'm sure early.
Everyone teases me because I go to bed at like 8:30. I was like, I gotta stay up till 9.
I know, I'm sorry. So we'll try to make this quick. Okay, before Allison talks with you guys, I wanted to talk to you about Coaching at a Glance. It's going on this week, and I know a lot of you have potential coaches in there. So I just want to make sure that you guys follow up with them and check in with them, because I know Coaching at a Glance, I kind of have hit and miss with success with it. I get, this time I've got like 5 people in there and they're really loving it, but other times I get people in there and they just completely forget about it and never check it, and then you're like back at square one. So I just, like, the key is really to check in with them and make sure that they are following along. And what you can also do is tag them in the post too. Sometimes just drawing them directly to it, so it comes up in their inbox especially, is the key. Other times you just may have to send the recorded webinar when you're done, so that they can get an idea if they haven't had time to go through it. I know, like, a lot of times people are just busy, and that's okay. So I like to make sure they have all the information and that I can answer all their questions before they make a decision, yes or no. Now, what I want you guys to really try to do, and I know this is really scary, is to actually get them on the phone and talk to them if you don't have face-to-face contact with them, because that, I think, really is the key, and it's often missing. First of all, it saves you a bunch of time with a long Facebook message. I know you can get caught up in the computer for like 3 hours, like doing this dialogue back and forth, and you may not even end up getting anywhere, or it's sometimes hard to explain things over a message, and it's impossible to share your passion with them. So getting them on the phone to help answer their questions and to help dispel some of their fears and hesitations about it, and just really share why you like coaching. I mean, I think that's the key. When I talk to potential coaches, that's just what I talk about, what I love about it, how I run my challenges, how it makes me feel, the team, and really try to focus on all of those things, because that's where most of us are moms, or we're military wives, or we're just stay-at-home moms, or whatever it is. And I think the great thing about this team, or what I love most about it, is we're all kind of in the same boat. Like, we all get along really well. I feel like we have like really good friendships, even though a lot of us have never met before face to face, but I just feel like we're a close group. So I really like to share that with people, because I know for me, a lot of my potential coaches are just like us. So sharing what this group is about and what we do, so they can actually hear it in your voice, I really think is the key. If I'm able to sit down and talk with somebody, either face-to-face or on the phone, I never have a problem. And they're always really excited about it. So if, I challenge you to step outside your comfort zone and do that, you'll be surprised. Like, you'll be received really positively. So I think a lot of us just think that people are going to think we're crazy or we're that person, but I mean, really, they're not. They're going to want to be a part of it. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity. I know for me and for a lot of you guys, it's changed your life, either just your health and fitness or financially as well. So don't be afraid to share it. All right. And I'll post this again too. I have this, what we're supposed to, the coach follow-up. Potential coach follow-up. I have a document that lays everything out, like how to address questions and hesitations they have, and and then how to sign them up if that's something they're interested in doing. So, but really, most important thing is just share why you like it. That's all it is. I mean, don't try to sell them on it. Just share your story, share your passion, and they'll make up their mind. So, okay, with that, I'm going to let Allison talk. Allison, I've known Allison, well, let's see, how old? Let's see, 5, almost 6 years.
Yeah, I was pregnant when we met. You were pregnant too, right?
We were all pregnant. Yes. Yes. Allison and I went to the same church. We were in a small group together of all pregnant women and our husbands. We were all due within like a month of each other.
With our first babies, right? Or our first.
It was my second. I had William. Yeah, I had William. But yeah, it was Laura's first. So our pastor's wife was pregnant. She had her baby first, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then Allison was pregnant, and she had her baby second. And then I had my baby third. And they were all within a couple months apart. So it was really awesome. Anyways, small group. We really got to know each other and became really good friends. And then we ended up getting transferred to Japan. And then you guys moved to New York. Steve got out of the Navy. And we've just kind of stayed in contact over Facebook. And last year, you did a 5-day challenge with me, and then fell off the map for a while.
Yeah, I went into hiding from you.
Went into hiding. You did good with the 5-day. You stayed on track, and then I think it was like bad timing. It was like you had parties and stuff, and anyways, came back like a few months later, ready for a change, and she did a challenge with me, 21-day fix, and she like totally rocked it. And she would post every once in a while about her progress, and she would have like 10 or 15 comments about people and all these people wanting to do it. So I was like, Allison, you need a coach. Like, you could refer them to me, but you might as well take advantage of them because they're going to relate to you. And they obviously did, because I reached out to some and they're like, eh. But then when you signed up, I think they all just like ordered like right away, like no problems through you. So anyway, so she became a coach in December. And ever since, you have been on fire. Like, you have filled challenges like 21-day fix. Like, you could sell with your eyes closed. Like, that's your thing. Like, people are drawn to you for that. You've hit Success Club. You've made a pretty decent income for a brand new coach, and even swayed your husband, who thought this was a pyramid scheme, and now like recruiting people for you. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, he is a little bit skeptical, but his mind is changing as women flock to me.
Yeah, see, it's not so bad now. I think a lot of husbands go through that though, and it's like when they start to see like, oh, this is real. Oh, this is a good thing. Then they're like all supportive of it. But yeah, there's been many a husband who think it's a guy thing. I think they all think pyramid.
It's a pyramid scheme. I'm like, this isn't nail stickers. It's
not nail stickers. It's not Jamberry. Anyways, okay, so Allison, the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, all right. So I was a stay-at-home mom ever since I had my son Blake, and did not want to sell anything ever. Did not want to do Mary Kay, Jamberry, candle, anything, nothing. Tupperware. Didn't want to be a part of it. So when Kelly approached me about the 21-day fix, I was excited, but I definitely didn't want to sell it. And so she was very gentle and patient and pointed out that I had people who were super interested, and I kept saying, contact Kelly Thompson, and I would tag her in my posts. And then I was at work. I just started teaching this year, my first job ever. And people at work were kind of interested. They'd see me come with these little containers and be like, what are you doing? And I would just be like, I'm just doing the 21-day fix. And then they would ask questions and I would go from there. But really, I was so afraid, and I still am, of being pushy that I just didn't push it on anyone. I just carry around my Shakeology cup, and I was losing weight, and people started to notice. And so they would start asking me, like, oh, what are you doing? You look really good. Or, what are you drinking? And that's kind of how I started spreading the word. And then, Kelly always talks about being really patient with people. So I've been really careful not to push it on people who aren't ready. I ran a clean eating group, a 5-day clean eating group, where I had one lady totally bashing Shakeology, telling people to go to Walmart and buy a protein shake. It was a waste of money. I was horrified. I was like, Kelly, they're rebelling against me. I don't know what to do. And she just was like, just, stay calm, just explain what you like about it. And I did. I didn't get too defensive. And I've even told people that after my 21-day fix, I was like, I don't need Shakeology anymore. I lost the weight. I'm golden. And as soon as I ran out, I started eating chocolate and cake and ice cream like a fiend. And I called Beachbody and said, could you restart my subscription, please? I need my Shakeology. Anyways, the lady who was bashing it just messaged me 2 days ago. And she was like, I really need to lose some weight. Can you tell me more about Shakeology and the 21-day fix? Because I think I really need a program. So that was golden.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people that I work with are seeing it on TV and they are ordering from the infomercial or online. And I really haven't been really out there about the fact that I'm a coach. And I have had like 4 or 5 people at work do challenges with me. And now when I hear people in the hall, they're like, oh, I'm doing that 21-day fix thing. So now I kind of insert like, oh, do you have a coach? Because I'm running a challenge group. And a math teacher came up to me the other day and said, what's that DVD thing you're doing? Because I need to do that. She goes, I need to lose 500 pounds.
500 pounds.
I don't think you do. You look great. But I was like, if you're interested, let me know. And she's like, well, do you get a commission? And I said, well, I do. I'm a coach. And she was like, oh, great. She was like, send me the link. So this is actually the first month that I have probably not been at Success Club earlier because I always hit it early in the month. So I just feel like the rest of the month is just like I'm flying along. But this month I'm a little bit feeling the heat because we're getting toward the end of April and I have a lot of leads. I'm super excited. I have not done anything but 21-day fix. And I'm starting the Brazil butt lift group, and people are so into it. I have people messaging me that I am shocked. Like, I would not think they'd be interested. I have one lady I know. She is very conservative. Her husband is Muslim. She's super conservative, wears it's not a burqa, it's just a head wrap, but not full body. But she messaged me and she was like, tell me about this Brazilian butt lift, because women want to feel confident. And it, you get to the point, especially after having children, where, it doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter how old you are. I've got people who are doing it that are younger than me with me. And then I have people who are, much older than me doing it with me. And my mom even was like, what is that butt lift thing? She's like, I want to do it with you. Okay. She's like, put me in your group. Like, okay, mother-daughter butt lift. So I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a great group. I didn't want to deviate from the 21-day fix because it's what I know. I don't know anything about the Brazilian butt lift. I don't know about this crazy Brazilian guy. All I've seen is this like infomercial. But people are into it. And one of my friends posted a link on my page and was like, look at this water slide coming to our town. She's like, your Brazilian butt is going to look so awesome. Like, this is my most conservative friend. She babysits my daughter. Like, I felt like that was a risk to me to offer a new challenge group, but I had a lot of people interested that have ignored my 21-day fix post. So
Yeah, I think that I know it can be hard. You get stuck in a rut. And I think especially with the 21-day fix, because the 21-day fix, like for me, like it's the number one thing program I sell. I can sell it really easy because it is something that fits everybody's needs. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily for everybody. Like I have right now, I'm messaging with a potential coach who does CrossFit, and she came to me interested because she had so many friends doing the 21-day fix, but she's already a clean eater and is really into tough workouts.
Mm-hmm.
So the 21-day fix she's going to get bored with because her diet's already in check and the workout is not going to interest her. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to her about Insanity Max 30 because that's going to be a better fit for her, and the
Mm-hmm.
nutrition plan is similar. So that's why it's so important to talk to people and really find out what their needs are, because the 21-day fix, yeah, it fits everybody, but it's not necessarily what everybody wants. So you
Mm-hmm.
definitely want to find out what interests people and fit them with a program that they're going to love, because you want them to love it. You want them to stick with it. You want them to be passionate about it, because not only are they going to stick with it and get results, but they're going to be excited about it, and that's going to make them a great potential coach. So that's what you really want. So that's why asking those questions and finding out what people's goals are and what their interests are so important. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I can just keep talking. I don't know.
Nope, keep talking.
Yeah, the 21-day fix was a big game changer for me because I had done the MyFitnessPal. Kelly actually ran our stroller strut group for a little while. We had a lady leading,
Yes.
and then she got stationed somewhere else, and it looked like the group was going to fold. And then Kelly started leading it, and I was like, "This girl is crazy. She can run with her stroller, and she doesn't get tired." Like, and I'm straggling behind. I'm like, "This woman's a machine. She's crazy." So I got to the anyway, so then I was seeing her posts and stuff, and I had my second baby. I didn't gain a ton of weight. I didn't gain enough weight that I really hated it enough to change for a while. And then I got to the point where I was like, okay, I don't want to do this. I'm tired of feeling insecure just because I didn't look the way I used to. And I didn't feel like myself. And so I didn't think I could stick with the 21-day fix, but Kelly was super encouraging, and her encouragement really got me a long ways because I did not have the confidence in myself. I had started, I would quit, and I would start, and I would quit. And I didn't want to do anything like Weight Watchers. That wasn't interesting to me. I didn't need to lose like 100 pounds. I just needed to get on track and have some support. And so that's why I finally ended up saying I'll coach, because I could not believe how well it worked. I lost 10 pounds, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you've pretty much been at the same weight for a while and you want to change, it feels like earth shattering. And so when people would say to me like, oh, how did you do with it and stuff, I'd say, well, really good. But I had one person say to me recently, well, it's easy for you, you can tell you have a small frame. And I want to say, well, it wasn't easy, particularly I've had 2 kids and I have a horrible sweet tooth and I have no self-control. So easy is relative. I think you get to a point where you're ready. So I've been trying to be patient with people, doing my forming, started reading Danny Johnson. At the beginning of the book, I was like, this is so cheesy. I've been pushing through, and I've really picked up a lot of good things from it. So I am super excited about that. And I've just been trying to be patient. I've had people approach me and then back away, approach me and back away. A lot of times it's financial. So, and I've been trying not to take anything too personally. And just knowing that when they're ready, they'll come. And it helps, that I am able to post because I'm doing it. They see me with my Shakeology at work. They see me with my portion containers. And so it's a lot of leading by example.
Yes. And I had, because Alice, you've been doing like a really good job, like, filling challenges, and you get some crazy people like, I can't get enough of all your posts. I'm like, I don't know where you find these people. Like, I've never had issues like that. But Allison, man, she gets some interesting people in there. But so I had messaged you a little while ago because you were having such great involvement with people and getting a lot of interest, hitting Success Club. So I had asked her, I was like, what are you doing? What are your invites looking like? Because I would love to share them with the team, because I share invites all the time, but I think I get ignored a lot. So if I can see, that's why I like to bring in like newer coaches that are having success, because I think you guys, you're definitely more relatable to newer coaches. So I had asked you, I was like, what do you send for an invite? And you're like, well, I don't really invite. And I was like, well, now I want you on a team call because you have everybody come to you. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. So what are you doing on social media that is getting this type of attention and getting people coming to you, wanting to know more information about it?
Well, one thing I try to do is not be annoying. So I try to make sure that I'm not obsessing over my posts. I'm not posting 100 times a day. I'm not posting, look at my 21-day fix, look at my Shakeology, look at my green container today. Like, I try to, Kelly, has told us that we should put things that are interesting, things that appeal to our major audience. So I try to make my posts interesting and then throw in one here and there. We had a huge blizzard, so I was like, I should stick my Shakeology in a snowbank and take a picture. So I went outside and I stuck in the snowbank, and I was like, oh, this is how we keep our Shakeology cold in Buffalo. So it's funny for people, because whether or not they care about Shakeology, they could see a picture of our storm, and it was interesting because we were all snowed in, and it kind of planted the seed in their head. I try to post pictures now and then, or I'll post a picture with my kids because they're super cute and people like seeing that. Like, oh, here's the kids and they're having their Shakeology, but I just try not to bombard people with it completely. I try to just make it part of my life. And that was what attracted me to Kelly, was she was posting herself with it. She was never saying, buy this from me. She was saying, oh, look what I'm using. I'm so glad I have it. And that's what appealed to me. And I think people love that because they don't feel like I'm trying to push it on them. And I've had so many people say, oh, I didn't know you were a coach. Recently, someone I know started selling, and the very first thing she did was post, I'm a Beachbody coach. I want to help you lose weight. Let me know, contact me, which is fine. But it also puts people on defensive, I think. And people are like, oh, no. Like, I know so many people that sell Mary Kay, so many people that sell Jamberry, that I don't really have to say too much, because when they hear that, then they're intrigued. They're like, oh, you do? Oh, could you tell me about it? And Kelly would do things I notice now with me. I would say, okay, maybe I'll order, how do I do it? But she'd keep forming with me, and she wouldn't give me, the web address. She wouldn't give it to me. So then I was like, well, why isn't she giving it to me? I want to order this.
Well, I wish I would have known that.
but I felt like, I felt like the sale wasn't the most important thing to you. You really wanted to be sure that it was right for me, right for you, that I had the right thing. You weren't just trying to push something on me. So now when I have people, I'll say, let me know when you're ready to order and I can send you the direct link. Or if you have more questions, let me know. Because I think then they feel like it's their choice to order. It's not me jamming it down their throat. Nobody wants that. And I feel like the more gentle I am about it, the more receptive they are. Because that's what worked with me, from Kelly, and I learned from you.
Well, that's good.
It's very, very patient, and just, you weren't saying, well, here's the link. When are you going to order? Make sure you get it done. It was like, okay, well, tell me a little bit more about what you're interested in, and, how is your workouts going now? And people really do want to talk about that. They want to talk about their struggles. They want to talk about their problems. And so when I give them a chance to do that, they're a lot more receptive, even saying like, oh, I'd like to try it in the future. I can't afford it right now, but definitely keep me in mind, or could you give me some tips for clean eating because I can't do your group right now. And just trying to build them up and give them that confidence, because a lot of women especially, they just don't think they can do it. They don't have the confidence that they can commit 21 days. They have their kids and their husbands and their families. And I've started telling people, if you don't put yourself first, nobody else is going to. Nobody is going to give you that time. Like, you're going to burn out.
Yeah.
And I was just tired of feeling burnt out. And I was tired of looking at pictures of myself thinking, why do I look like that? When I lost the weight, I look back at pictures and I can see my face. Like, my face is so different. And I'm just a lot happier in general. So
yeah, that's awesome. Now I love how you say, I lost my train of thought. No, I really like how you go into each conversation. Like, what I love about you, Allison, is you're very genuine, and you're really fun to follow on Facebook. I mean, I am always like, if you ever come up in my news feed, I'm like, what's going on with Allison? Because she always has, like, you have a funny spin on all your posts. Like, you have like the crazy things happen to you, and your kids are so stinking cute, and yeah, you're fun to follow. And what I think why you do so well too, and I've seen other coaches do this as well, is when you do make a post about something Beachbody related, either your workout, your results, Shakeology, whatever it is, it's not, hey, here's a picture of me with my Shakeology. It's, hey, you kind of mention a little something. Like, there was the one post that we had kind of talked about, where you went bikini shopping in like the middle of a blizzard or something. Like, or it was boots or something. You needed winter boots, but you ended up getting a bikini or something instead. Like, you kind of spun your results in there, but you were making fun of like your ridiculous weather you were having for spring break or something. Mm-hmm. So it got people's attention, but it wasn't like so in your face. So it was kind of funny. Like, it just drew people in. And I think that's why you are so successful with drawing people in, is because you kind of have, your posts are two-sided. So you throw in that little jab in there, but you're also sharing something else so that it relates to everybody, and it gets people commenting on it as well. Mm-hmm. So what do you feel are some of your more popular posts that draw people in?
I'm trying to think. Definitely ones where I kind of talk about my results. Definitely showing my results, that's a good thing, but I hate to like blast people with that, because I know people get they get upset by it. Some people get like offended because they're like, I'm tired of seeing people's after workout pictures. Like, they think it's like braggy or showy. So I try not to do like a ton of those, like before and after, like, look at me in my bikini, because if someone's feeling bad about themselves, they really don't want to see that. Like, they're good with seeing results. And my first before and after is in a tank top and a pair of like workout pants. And I feel like that's enough for now. After the Brazil butt lift, though, if it's really good,
you're gonna have to show your butt. Like, it's gonna be nothing else, just your butt.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my butt on. So I try to keep it relatable. So I'm not saying like, hey everyone, guess what? I'm finally down to a size, 2. I don't say my size, because that doesn't matter. What matters is that I finally feel good about myself. So if somebody else's feel good is a size 10, then that's fine. And I'm not going to go sticking numbers on it. I don't talk about my weight. I don't talk about the scale, how much I weigh, because I'm short. And so, it doesn't matter. Like, what is a good size for me is not a good size for somebody else, but I'm very short. So,
yeah.
but I'm just happy with where I'm at. I don't talk about sizes. I don't talk about numbers, but I will say things like, I'm so glad I finally went short shopping because I'm down 2 sizes or I'm down 1 size. And I make it relatable because everybody could say, oh, I could do that. I could go down 1 or 2. I don't want people to think like, well, I can't do what that girl did.
Yeah.
It's not something crazy. And I try to tell people it's healthy eating, and I also, one thing I stress about the shakes is it doesn't have to be a meal replacement. A lot of people don't like shakes for meals, and I've run into that, and I don't always. So I always say to them, you can have it as a snack if you want. Work it into your 21-day fix as a snack. After work, I'm super tired and I crave sugar, so I come home and have a chocolate Shakeology. And that's good for people because they don't feel like it's extreme. Like, I don't have to start drinking all my meals. I don't have to try and be a size 2. I can make this work for me.
Right.
So all that to say, trying to keep the posts relatable, trying to just show people that 3 weeks is all it takes to start making changes. And I tell them, once you see the first week how easy the weight literally falls off, you'll be so motivated. It's not going to be hard after that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely, like, everything you said is just like absolutely true. And I think I know that's why you have done so well with it. And I'm sure like you've never been, had negative feedback from people because you're genuine. And that's what I really try to stress with you guys is this isn't about selling, because as soon as you make it about selling, and like you said, I've seen lots of people, either if they're a Beachbody coach and not with me, because I try to make sure, like, don't post anything, let's talk about some things before, because like whatever you do, like, absolutely do not throw out your link or anything.
I think that was the first thing I did, and you were like, "Whoa!" And then I took
I know if anybody's like, I'm going to post, I'm like, okay, like, here's like a sample, like, do it like this, do not, because it immediately turns people off, because then they're seeing you as selling something. And that is not what this is about. Because when you make it about selling something, like, people aren't going to have that connection with you. Mm-hmm. And for me, I want to fit people with what's going to work for them, what's going to make them happy. And I want to have a lifelong relationship with them. Like, it's not like, buy this program and then I'll see you later. No, it's, you're going to get this program, you're going to get me in a challenge, and then I'm going to try to, hopefully you've got great habits set up and you can kind of go off on your own. But if you ever need anything, I am always here. And I will always throw you back in the challenge. Even if you're going to do T25 for 5 years, you're always welcome. And, if you need meal plans, whatever you need, I'm here for you. And that's what I want people to know. And I think that's so important because that's where people refer, other people to you. And that's when people want to come to you, because they see that you genuinely care about them. And it's not about selling something. I mean, obviously we do have to sell stuff because that's our job. Like, that's how we make our money, and our time needs to be compensated. Because I love helping people and I love giving my time, but it's also taking time away from my family, and it's taking time away from things that I enjoy, and just having, there are times, like tonight, I probably just want to go to bed at 8 o'clock, but I can't, because I've got challengers I got to check in with, and I've got training I've got to help, get set up. And so it is a job, and we need to be compensated for that. So, so you got to look at that way too. And, the same with people, you'll always have those people who want to get everything from you for free. So you've got to be at some point going, I'm here to help you. But there are some things that I am reserving strictly for my customers. I mean, they've taken that leap of faith with me, so they deserve that extra time, that extra attention, those extra meal plans, that extra help and support, because they have, they've committed. And, it can be really draining to, help people with, if they're not really ready to give anything back, back to you. So just something to think about. I know it's easy to get sucked into that. But you also, you don't want to be working your butt off and not getting anywhere. So, anyways, I've got 2.5 minutes left, so I don't want to get cut off, but thank you, Allison. Like, I absolutely loved everything you had to say. And I think everybody needs to, take notes on this call, because she shared a lot of great information and a lot of great advice, and she's doing an amazing job. And now you just need to start building, girl.
I need to start working on getting some coaches. I've got a couple potentials. I've got one in Coaching at a Glance, and I've got another one who I've got my eye on. She is going from 2 or 3 rounds of 21-Day Fix into Brazilian butt, and she wants to do 21-Day Fix Extreme. And I'm like, okay.
That was tough. I did a challenge group with it. Oh, geez. Good luck.
I'm going to have to cave eventually because people are wanting it.
Oh, man. It's fun, though. The test group I did was, we all failed, but it was so much fun. I have never had such a complete disaster of a challenge, but it was literally the funnest challenge. Aside from Max 30 was a fun one, too, but it was just, we were all like, this is ridiculous. So keep us posted on your Brazilian butt lift challenge. Because I may have to run one. Have you done the program yet? Because it is ridiculous.
No, I haven't.
It's really cheesy. But
I love cheesy.
Okay, so it will be a lot of fun, I think. So I think that's a good idea. That should be my next thing. I'm going to go back to original Beachbody.
Beachbody, they send you shorts.
Do they really? Is that what you get instead of a shirt?
Because what is the size of your boom boom? And I'm like, all right, I'm in.
I did not know that. That is awesome. Okay, so keep us posted on your challenge, because that could be the next thing we go for. All right. Thank you, Allison, so much. And I appreciate you taking the time, and tell Steve hi for me.
I will, absolutely.
The kids. So, all right. Thank you guys for joining in. And if you have any questions, when I post this, you can comment or you can ask Allison. I'm sure she'd love to help. All right. Take care. Have a good night.
Night.